This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting live 100 feet from the Gulf of America. Here are your award-winning social media superstars, the hosts of Beach Talk Radio, Kim and Ed Ryan.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all so much for coming to. We're not broadcasting live from Lemon Bay Chevrolet. We're broadcasting live from.
Now, you stole that. You have to.
You
give
did
credit.
come up with that.
I
You
did.
came up with that, which is
Did.
so unusual for you
Did.
to be so
And-
sarcastic about
And if
something.
we don't get this truck fixed, or better yet, a replacement at the value of what we paid, I'm going to be serving lemonade free to everyone who comes there as they
Yeah.
go to purchase a car.
So some of you may have watched the show yesterday, so this will be a repeat. But we're
I'll
on
just
our.
wear a lemon suit, lemon-colored suit.
I have a lemon-colored suit,
you
by
do.
the way.
You do.
This is the second loaner I have now because the truck has been back for the same problem 3 times, which qualifies it as an actual lemon. You learn the lemon
No.
law when you get one. Yeah,
But I think the time limit. I think the
there's no
statute
time
of
limit. It was a
limitations just run out
certified
on it.
new or certified something. Anyway, so this is the second. This truck is gigantic. I told a story yesterday. Like I went out to the driveway and I saw that the rear view mirror was shoved in. So I went and I yanked it out because I thought I'll need that rear view mirror until I realized
it's
that
a side view mirror.
side
But
view mirror. So then I realized that with an $80,000 truck, the minute you hit the clicker, everything rolls out, the floorboards fold out, the windows roll out. And so I hope I didn't break the mirror. And then the other thing is I can't in the rear view camera, it's
Yeah.
a camera. It's like
Yeah.
it totally freaks you out when you look in the rear
Yep.
view and it's a camera when you're old and your eyes are trying to adjust to something so close and I can't figure out. And then the other thing that's irritating is you look on the windshield and you see the speedometer like on the windshield, like it's totally distracting.
Yeah.
I can see the speedometer here.
the
I don't need to,
speedometer. I don't know why you're saying it so weird.
I'm saying speedometer because it's
That
speed.
is not how you say it.
It's speed.
No,
Ometer.
it's speedometer.
Whatever. So the speedometer is on the windshield. Now I can't figure out how to get rid of that. And the truck is too big. The truck is way too big.
The truck is too big. He had me drive it to the Cape last night, and we pulled into Oktoberfest, which if you haven't
Holy
gone,
smokes, you guys.
today's the last day. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And it was packed, and the guy's like trying to direct me to a spot, and I said, no, I don't know how to drive this, let alone park it. So I need a really big spot. And
Yeah.
he's
So we
like,
parked 3
"Why?"
miles away because
He
she
goes,
didn't
why
want
are you driving a car that you don't know how to drive or isn't
long
isn't
story,
yours? I
long
said, yeah,
story.
it's a long story.
So just to finish this story that nobody cares about.
Yeah.
Yesterday, as I'm going to
This is our
Margaritaville,
therapy session. Thank you guys.
yesterday as I'm going to Margaritaville to set up for the show, my phone rings and I see it's from Estero Bay Chevrolet. So the first thing I think is, oh, good, my truck's ready.
Bay.
And so the guy says, I need the loaner back. Like I've sold the loaner. I said, you got to be kidding me, right? The second loaner you sold. Somebody wants this $80,000 piece of shit that you sold. So he goes, I'm coming to get it now. I said, no, you're not coming to get it now. I said, the only way you're getting it is if you bring my car back, then you can have your car back. And so I never heard from him again. So I don't know how they're dealing with this. The dealer, the service department said that a part is coming in on Friday that they need to install, and then they'll need the truck.
What is that part? That
Some
they're-
kind of coolant thing. And then Dan thinks, and now other people think that somehow that truck went through the water, like it went through a hurricane, and it's a total wreck. In any event,
in any event.
the guy says that the service guy says not only will we need a week until the part gets here, we'll need another week to test it out. So I'm like, it's just ridiculous that it's taken this long. It's obviously never going to run. And everything that I hate about buying a car came true. Like, I just hate going to the dealership and putting up with this. And the worst part about it is the guy was our neighbor. The guy that sold me the car, I went to him because I trusted him. He coached in our flag football league. We saw his kids grow up.
Well, he's a salesperson.
Well, it doesn't matter to me.
I have to question who did the inspection on the certified pre-owned, because
they clearly,
that's going to be my question, and how they figured out that something was wrong on the inside of the coolant.
Yeah.
I personally, I think it's the whole computer and we just need a new truck replaced.
Yeah.
Free of charge.
But the problem is they've.
I mean, not free.
Okay,
We'll pay. Oh yeah, wrapped.
The wrap thing is that's $3,500 that they'd have to eat. So, well, hey, it's all promotions.
I would have painted that for free.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have. So the other thing,
3,500.
Yeah.
Are you an idiot?
Maybe it was 2,500. I don't. Maybe it was 1,500. I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. So real quick, if you haven't been to Oktoberfest, you guys should really go to that. I mean, I know last night was a big deal here on the island because the Community Foundation had a great event. But the Oktoberfest, you have to experience that once, and then you can experience John Lalo, who was the owner of Pete's Time Out, dressed up like a German elf.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got the full outfit. I don't know what people think.
Yes.
When they get dressed up like that. Like,
it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was nice to see.
Got out there. We got to cut a rug doing the chicken dance.
And the Cape Coral show has taken off really well for us. So we appreciate John Lalo. He was the one that gave us our start. I don't know if he's happy about that or he regrets that, but it's always nice to see John and Debbie. So November 14th is a huge day here on Fort Myers Beach because it will be 3 years and almost 2 months, or at least over a month or 1 month, since the Whale was knocked down by Hurricane Ian, and it's opening back up. I don't know if you've had a chance to drive by, or you've seen the pictures. At night, the place looks amazing. So we wanted to introduce the chef, who the last time we had on the show, he was getting ready to start at the old Whale. And he's going to be back when the new Whale opens on November the 14th, a big day, November the 14th. And so Reese is here to tell us about the menu and what you can expect when you come to the new Whale on November the 14th. Big hand for the master chef. I know what to do. I know when the guest comes on the show.
You don't know what to do because nobody's going to pay $3,500 for a wrap.
Guys, it sounds like changed.
No. In all of these years.
Whoop, that's my fault.
Just keep that close
just
to
keep
you.
it close to you, and you go right ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
It's so nice to have you back.
Nice and
I'm
close.
so excited to see you back because we had such a good interview, and we've seen you a couple of times in the meantime. But tell us what's been going on with you since the last 3 years. Just wrap it up in like a minute or two.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, obviously, once the hurricane hit, I couldn't go take another head chef position knowing that the Whale was being rebuilt and stuff like that. So I went over to Farmer Mike's down in Bonita Springs. They're a local farm that also essentially produces produce for the rest of the Bonita, Fort Myers, Cape Coral area. I did purchasing for them. So I just kind of stayed in the industry, learned about the other side of it. That way, when I come back to the Whale,
you will know everything.
Exactly.
So tell us, going forward, dear, are you going to participate or what? We talked about this last time you were on.
Usually she's cutting me off and wants to get in all the questions. You should have saw
all right,
Friday
shut
night.
up. I have a question. The last time we got the big thing when you came on the show, among other things, was the big spoon.
I was wondering if this was.
Of course, it's going to come up. I believe
She just won't let the spoon go.
That the spoon was lost in the storm, or were you able to recover that very expensive, wonderful spoon?
I unfortunately lost everything in the storm. I did not recognize how intense Ian was going to be. I locked up my kitchen. I usually leave all my chef knives, spoons, all my expensive, nice stuff in my kitchen, so I never have to bring it back and forth. Unfortunately, it's in the Gulf now.
Yeah, and we're not talking about an average spoon that you would pull out of your drawer. Like, it was $800. The spoon cost $800, right?
About as much as our wrap.
Not quite. I wish there was lemon laws for spoons.
So how much was the spoon? Seriously, though?
Man, I don't remember. I think like we have to go back through the video. But that was definitely like an $80 spoon.
Yeah, I mean,
something in that, something a little ridiculous.
like where do you go shopping for $80 spoons, or like that's a lot of money for a spoon? Like
you have to you guys have to understand my the technology I use in the kitchen.
technology.
It's important.
What kind of special technology can you get out of an $80 spoon that the rest of us peons don't really know about?
Well, I bet that spoon's gonna last in the ocean forever.
Yeah.
Well,
All right,
and you
fair
use
enough.
it like it's not like an eating spoon. It's like a serving and display spoon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. So can you tell us about what people can expect when they come and eat at the Whale?
Absolutely. I mean, everybody that remembers the old Whale, you know, that was a staple for this island, and we're pretty much staying within that same realm. Obviously, you guys have seen the building. It's beautiful. It's
We
huge.
know you're here. We can hear you.
It's going to be something really special. So, you know, we're more of an high-end sports bar type situation just
All
because
right.
of the ambience. You know, one thing about myself when it comes to cooking, I really want to sit here and push fresh produce, fresh proteins, right?
Okay.
So Key West pink shrimp, Gulf shrimp, that type of stuff. You'll notice on our menu, we don't have a named fish for a certain reason, and that being we know how off-season goes. So if you place a certain fish on your menu, it's really hard during off-season to keep that fresh the whole time,
Mhm.
you know? So we're just weekly fish specials coming in. If we run out, we run out. Obviously, I will do my best to never have that happen.
Well,
But-
now that you've had all that practice,
Exactly.
that you will never run out.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're feeding our customers the best food that we can, you know? So that's really my main goal, is bringing the fresh seafood from our ocean right into the restaurant. Obviously, utilizing a lot of smoked foods like in the past. We'll have those ribs, the pork belly, smoked chicken wings, which was everybody's favorite. Again, that's another one of those things, limited availability in the sense of smoked fresh every day, you know?
So what were some of the, like, other than the wings, what were some of the things from the old Whale that you're bringing back to make? Because, you know, people always want to, they say, you have to bring back this, you have to bring back that. What are
Absolutely.
some of the
Surprisingly enough, the biggest pushback I think I've gotten was black bean dip.
black bean dip?
Everybody loved it. And
Really?
honestly, it's one of those dishes that's simple, cheap, you know, it's affordable, something you can fill your tummy with. And, you know, we're going to roll with that. In the past, when I first took over the Whale, you know, we were using canned black beans. Well, we're
Canned.
going to go fresh black beans. You know, so everything I'm trying to do is just to bring fresh food, things that are made in-house.
I have a dumb question for you. What
up?
is, what are fresh black beans compared to canned?
So a dried
What?
black bean.
I'm just looking at you.
Why are you looking at me? You never
I
look
don't
at
know.
me. You try
I'm
and
looking
get out of the
at
house as
you
much as
because
you can.
I still can't get over the rap. Go
Here,
ahead.
don't think it takes an artiste to do something like that, and for not to bubble and things like that. I mean, it's a special kind of.
And
a
then you
skill.
ram the truck right into the electrical outlet box at
So-
in our garage.
So Eddie Rude has this big giant red truck, and he was
Oh, here
parked
we-
out in front of
Eddie
the baby truck.
Rude?
I'm sorry, I have Eddie Rude on my mind for some reason, which really I should take medication for if that's the case. So Ed Schoonover had parked his big red truck out, and so there was a dent in the front of my truck, and it was red. I don't know how it was red. Well, it was red because I drove the truck into the garage, into the fuse box, which was rusty. So it was really rust, not red.
You wear
and-
glasses?
I do wear glasses, but I take them off. I take them off before I get into the garage because I don't want to hit the fuse box. So
That's valid.
yeah, right.
So now we have a pool noodle around the fuse box.
Yeah, of course. So it wasn't Ed Schoonover, although he did go out and check his truck to see if there was any yellow on the back of his red truck. So, but what were we talking about?
Just talking about the food.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
food. Stick to the food.
But black
Reese.
bean
Stick to the
dips,
food.
the tuna nachos was something.
Oh
that
no,
I
you were
brought
going to
the
explain
Whale.
the difference in how
Oh, yeah.
black beans are fresh and canned.
It's just about trying to not use processed items.
Yeah,
Right.
So where do you get fresh black beans? I mean, I love black beans.
I mean, just from the same purveyors. You know,
Yeah,
you can
just-
get a canned black bean that's fully cooked. You can get raw black beans that you still
Yeah.
have to soak, season, cook, do the whole thing.
That's
from
what you're
scratch.
talking about.
You know,
So-
scratch cooking. Right?
How much mousse you got in your hair today? You got a
Not
lot.
much. I got thick hair, dude.
You do have
It's-
thick hair.
I just put in gel for fun, but I don't
Yeah.
need it.
It's
I wake
totally,
up like this.
You got a great head of hair there, right? there.
Remind us,
appreciate that.
because I don't want to say it because I don't want to be wrong. What we asked you what your favorite thing is to eat. Do you remember? what you said?
It was McDonald's, wasn't it?
Is it cheeseburgers?
It was McDonald's back then.
Did I actually
You did.
name drop McDonald's?
Yeah, I think
I
you
was
did
really
either that
stressed
or
back in that
macaroni.
time.
Yeah.
I had a lot going on.
And you were nervous coming on the show, and
Oh,
it was
absolutely.
fine.
Kelly
it was
wants,
fine.
Kelly wants to know if you're bringing back the beach bread.
Beach bread is coming back.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So your kitchen is going to be on the second floor.
No. We
Sorry.
are on the first floor. Something really, really cool about our building that Mike Miller made sure happened was, in an event that hurricane comes through, because it's going to happen at some point again, our building's set up so that the first floor is on the kitchen, or is the kitchen. Everything is on wheels. And so if we hear a hurricane's coming, we have a service elevator inside the kitchen. Everything goes upstairs. Mike has generators built into that building. So if that happens, as long as the chefs can get onto the island,
Yeah.
we should be able to be open within 2-3 days and just help,
Yeah.
for the community. Obviously, people off the island won't be able to come, but for the island itself, we'll be able to support.
Yeah, and the other thing, I mean, it's obviously it's going to be a mob scene on the 14th and the days after because everybody wants to go. You need to have patience, right? I mean, people. I mean,
yeah.
how are you going to deal with the? It's going to be a huge influx of people, and you're going to have
It's
to.
going to be tough. I mean, to be honest with you, I wrote the menu knowing that we're going to get wrecked in a good way.
Yeah,
But I feel like I've built a really good team. The front of house has really come together right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, the first couple weeks are going to be, we're going to work
Working
through
out the
some
kinks.
things.
Yeah.
Exactly. But as far as the quality of the food and that type of stuff, it'll always be there. If you're sitting there on the second week and you're like, man, why is my food taking so long? Working through some kinks and then remembering I'm not sending out food that's not good.
yeah,
Right.
Right.
true. Yeah.
If you're waiting
And-
20 minutes for food, I apologize. But when it comes to your table, at least you'll be happy that
Have
it's
another drink.
good.
Exactly.
That is
Exactly.
well, plenty
Exactly.
of alcohol.
Sit
Yeah.
back, relax. It's not fast food.
Yeah, and you won't need to wait an hour to get a drink, will you? That's
mean,
for sure.
It's
I doubt that.
it's quickly served, but it's not fast food. It's
exactly.
Yeah,
know,
and
high
the
caliber.
folks, when you order your food, just
3,000
get up out of your chair
wraps.
when you're there and walk around. Go through the stairwells and look at the walls and look at what they've done to the floor on the third floor. It's almost like a tourist attraction when you first go there. I mean, they really have done some special things about the community. Mix of new, try and keep the old.
That's one of my favorite things about the building is other than the kitchen being beautiful. The artwork in there.
Yes,
That
that
it's
artist
insane.
is crazy
And
good.
I've walked through the building myself a bunch of times, and I feel like every time I walk through there, I'm seeing something new. It's going to be hard for you to walk in there
Yeah.
one time and see everything about that building.
And look,
It's-
when you get up to the top, make sure you notice what's going on in the top. I mean, it really is going to be
I
special.
don't even want to give it away.
I know,
Just
I know.
When
You
you're
gotta
there,
experience it.
just start looking around and just you're
Mhm.
going to notice some things. You're like, wow, the attention to detail is insane.
And it's November.
You should return the tap that you found.
I don't think it was theirs, but I still have it.
Um,
I found
We'll
when
have
we were
to do a DNA test.
when
on
we
it.
were walking around after Hurricane Ian trying to help out. I remember walking around with Dan and Megan. They were delivering cases of water. You were walking through people's backyards, not purposely, not looting or anything, but you're carrying cases of water to people who needed water, and they were stored in a certain area. And all around were filled liquor bottles, like
Yep.
unbroken filled liquor bottles. Like some of them were standing up, some of them were
Which
sideways.
is crazy
that they didn't
considering
break.
the power of that storm.
And I found this tap. I don't even remember what beer it is, and I kept it, and I have it in our house. And I thought it was from the whale, but it's hard to know where it came from because
Mhm.
everything was scattered everywhere that day. But man, the place
We
looks
actually
great.
recovered our smokers.
Did you?
That old
did.
smoker from behind the whale.
Yeah.
Where was that? Where did you find that?
The old smoker?
In Iona.
That-
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
so far. away.
So if
Can't
you go, if you feel like putting in a few steps and trying to navigate the crosswalks at the base of the bridge, which are interesting to try and navigate, you should walk over to the whale. You'll see that they have actually nice landscaping out in the front, which it's not weeds. I know that's an offensive thing to say compared to what it was last time, but it's nice grass that's going to look super nice. The parking lot looks nice. New sidewalks around the front and the back of the building. And the screens are up on the bottom. I mean, it was well worth the wait. And that
Absolutely.
certainly was well worth my investment that I put into the place. So looking forward to I don't
Did
even
you
wanna-
get them a wrap
I don't
too?
even know what I don't even know what that final dollar amount. It's got to be crazy because I'm sure along the way, Mike is thinking, "Oh no, I need to do this here, and this is going to look better if I do it this way or that way." Or, but it looks fabulous. So, any other thoughts about the food and the menu? And
I'm just really excited.
yeah,
This is gonna be a destination restaurant.
yes,
I cannot wait for it. I can't wait for the city of Fort Myers Beach to be able to come through and eat there.
awesome. Big
And
hand
did
for-
you get, wait,
Go
I
ahead.
just want to ask, did you replace your spoon and your knives? Because I know knives are a big, like for a chef, that's like your tool of your trade, right?
Last Christmas, I did get a Christmas gift, a nice little chef knife for this
Uh-huh.
upcoming event.
Was it 3,500?
No,
Oh, okay.
this one was a
Okay.
little cheaper. We're in like the $180 range.
Wow,
Still.
probably slices right through that prime
yeah.
lid
You
without a
could
problem.
probably,
Oh,
your
that's
head right
nice.
off with
Yeah,
it.
I'm sure I'd get a knife. Big hand for Reese, everybody.
Real
the
quick,
chef
can
at
I give
the-
a quick shout out?
Yes,
Yes,
do it,
yes.
do it.
To my two boys, Braxton and Sawyer Davis. Love you guys. My fiance who bought me my chef knife. I don't know if you guys remember on the last interview we had,
Yes.
I did not have a fiance,
Oh wow,
and so congratulations.
and here I am.
when are you getting
love you,
married?
Yes, when
Ashley.
are you getting married?
Ooh,
You knew, you
guys,
brought
when
it
can
up.
I have vacation time?
About 2 years. That wedding's 2 years
We're having
away.
the wedding at the Whale.
and the
Of course.
reception to
Oh, yeah,
follow.
It's gonna be free for me. So
Where's the groom? Well, he's in the back making the food, of course.
exactly.
Thanks a lot, Reese. Good
Thanks,
luck.
guys. I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Big hand for Reese, everybody. Yeah. All right. Before we have, let me see. What are you doing there? I'm going to read an ad. I'm going to read a
Are you
quick ad.
talking to yourself? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Folks, talk about grand openings. Another grand opening is coming. Marina Cantina. Tin Tiki. It's already open. They opened on October the 15th. And they are located on the other side of the bridge at Salty Sam's Marina. Their grand opening celebration was yesterday, October 25th. So hopefully you guys got a chance to go down there. They're open 7 days a week, 3 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday, noon to 10, Saturday and Sunday. You can come by boat or by car. There's plenty of free parking and dockage right at Salty Sam's Marina. They are located right on the other side of the bridge. Signature drinks and fun vibes. Try their margarita flights and ice cold beer flights. It's a fun, flavorful way to sip your way through the island in the afternoon. Marina Cantina Tin Tiki. Boys, try and say that 5 times fast without muffing it up. Congratulations to them. The place looks fabulous. And the Bonita Bills, it's called something else. The Bonita Fish House is opening in early November, so lots of grand openings. And now the star of the show, the guest of honor, the number one honcho on this beach, the Chief Cheese. Here he is, the mayor of Fort Myers Beach, Dan Allers. Look at how he's got a penny on now. He's got to drive around in an orange penny. He's okay, everybody. If you were wondering how does one person get hit by 2 trucks on his moped, and he looks okay. He's
Howie's on my bad list. He keeps wearing that White Castle shirt and never brings anything back from
White
Orlando.
Castle. Wow. You want to talk about something that cleans you right out? Have a White Castle hamburger, man.
You know, we used to go round and rounds with Andy all the time. So Andy's like, "Well, Crystal Burger is the same thing." I'm like, "No, it's
no, nothing's
not
the
the
same
same.
thing. The only thing you could compare White Castle to is a garbage plate from Rochester, New York. I mean, they
Yeah.
would throw everything that they cooked on it, like all the leftovers and all the gush on the garbage plate. Of
Yeah.
course, you're only serving that to the drunk people
Yeah.
at 2:00 in the morning. But
my grandmother, who's now since passed away, when my brothers and I had to go over to grandma's house for the night so my mom could go out or whatever, she hated fast food, hated it. But every once in a while she would go get Crave when they first started coming out with the Crave cases. You know, boys can eat a lot of burgers. So she brought back 2 Crave cases, I think, if I remember right, the first time, and we devoured it in about 10 minutes. And she's like, I got to go back for more. I'll never forget that. That was my first experience with White Castles.
They didn't have those where I grew up. They didn't
Oh,
have
they're
much
all
of
over New
anything.
York,
where
yeah.
Yeah, they're big in the
And
Midwest.
now they sell them frozen in the supermarket.
Yeah, you can
It's not the
you
same
can actually
thing.
get them at like Publix. You can get them at 7-Eleven, but they're just not the same.
No. So you don't have to comment at all, but I did want to kind of get your thoughts on this process, not the specifics of the recall,
Ah.
because it is a big deal. Like, it is a big deal for the town council, and I don't want to spend too much time on it. But so the judge, if you haven't been paying attention, the judge has ruled in favor of John, so to speak. It's not black and white. So the judge says that the petition, number 3 on John's petition, was fatal, which means he thinks that it should be tossed out. But unless the judge says to Tommy Doyle in the elections office, John he can't be recalled. You need to tell the voters John can't be recalled. He is going to be on the ballot because they're printed. But what the elections office told me was if John gets taken off the ballot, off the recall, they will put instructions in the voting booth that say John King cannot be recalled because of this whole deal with the judge. But obviously, Bill Veach can still appeal the judge's ruling. He tried to get Judge Kyle to reconsider it. The judge told him no. He can appeal it to the Second Court of Appeals in Tampa, which I don't know if a judge would expedite the ruling on that or if it would go past November 4th. And there are so many different scenarios that could play out. Like for John, and if I'm John, I'm thinking the judge ruled in my favor, I'm safe. But if I'm on the recall side, well, I can appeal it, they can appeal it, and then this could be carried on. So I think the November 4th date is an important thing because if, let's say, Veach appeals it, goes to the Second Court of Appeals, and the vote goes through as it is, and the recall is successful for Karen and John, then what happens? Like, John can actually go to the second council meeting in November and say, I'm not leaving my seat. And then whoever wins the vote could say, well, yeah, you got recalled in the vote. The court cases doesn't, you see what I'm saying? Like, then you put the burden on Nancy and Becky and Amy. I mean, what if John says he feels like he won, and then the recallers say you got recalled and the judge didn't help anybody out? It's so, I mean, that scenario could happen.
Well, it's a lot to unpack there, but I think you're right.
That's a big old suitcase.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm not trying to be right. Nobody is really right.
I think we, a bunch of things we can all agree on. Nobody understands exactly what the process is or what all of this means. But the other thing I think everybody can unanimously agree on is we can't wait for this to be over. It's I've said it many times. It's unfortunate that it's happening, and people just want it to be over.
I don't know if it's going to be over though on November 4th.
I don't know.
No. I mean,
I think all your points are legitimate. I don't understand it. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what it all means on the surface. I agree with you. To me, it looked like, or it appears to me that the judge ruled in John's favor and he's not going to be able to be recalled. But
okay,
yeah, when you
again,
say
I'm no
something,
lawyer. I don't know.
It's fatally flawed. That to me means
but
that you either have to
right.
rewrite it and
But what-
start again. But
what Tommy Doyle says, and I'm going to leave that
yes,
opinion out of it. What Tommy Doyle's office says is unless the judge says to us he's off the ballot, so to speak, can't be off the ballot, they're printed, we're not doing anything. He needs direction. So obviously John and Karen's attorney have gone back to the judge and say, will you please give the elections office some direction? He hasn't done it yet. He did rule quickly on Bill Veach tried to get him to reconsider, and he swatted that right down. So if I can understand the elections office's position.
I'm just, as we're talking about, I wonder if there's something that wouldn't allow the judge to do that, because then to me that would appear that it would take away, and again, I'm not a lawyer, but would that then take away the right of due process for appeals?
Good question.
I don't know. I don't.
It's a good question. I mean, I think
Again, I'm not a lawyer.
and the recaller side are saying, no, this just allows the lawsuit to go forward. Well, the main intention of the lawsuit was to stop the recall on John. So, I mean, I don't know what I'm not saying I'm right or wrong or understand how that will end. But the other
I'm sure
thing,
John could
Do you
probably
think-
come on and tell you better.
I don't
He's-
think he
Well,
can.
or that-
he's dealing with it every single day.
Yeah.
And he's
what
the only one
about
talking
his
with
lawyer? Is it now the responsibility of John's lawyer
Yes,
to go
he has.
and say, hey, you need to?
And he's appealing Karen's ruling. I mean, Karen's in a worse spot than John because she
Right.
will be on the recall, but they can also appeal that. So I guess if you appeal it and it goes past the November election and she gets recalled, but it's in an appeal, does she get out of the seat if they lose the recall? I mean, the whole thing's muffed up. But the other thing, and then we'll end it on this and talk about some other stuff. Let's say you already have 386 people who voted. They voted with the understanding that John and Karen are on the recall. Now, if a judge says John's out of the recall, that to me is like you were voting for something that isn't actually the same thing, the same election as if you go into the voting booth where they're telling people John's off the ballot. Like if they voted for the two candidates, the two real candidates, if they voted for the real two candidates, how do they know which one was the top priority? Like, how do you pick who the top priority is?
Well, I get what where you're going. I see it a different way. I mean,
Okay.
whether John can be recalled or not, would that change a voter's vote? I mean, either you were going to vote yes or you were going to vote no, and
Yes,
depending on
correct
how
on
you
that
voted,
part.
I mean, you could
But
have
you're
voted
voting-
for one, you
but-
could have voted for two. I mean, I don't
But
know
my
that would
point
change
is-
it.
Oh,
Okay.
here we go again.
But my
You and I
point
had
is,
this.
and this may be a dumb point. My point is, if they voted yes on the recall, they're obviously, I think, voting for Tom and Becky. They're not voting for Eddie Rude. They're voting. Nobody's voting for Eddie
Huh?
Well,
Rude.
they're
by the
voting
way.
for whomever they're going to vote.
Right.
Yeah.
But my point is, if there's only one person because John's safe, how do they choose who they're like? They weren't thinking, okay, my top priority is Tom or Rebecca as you're in the voting booth. You're thinking both are getting in. How do you decide who the top?
Well, again, if you feel that you wanted to recall them, you're going to vote for two regardless.
Yes.
Unless it says, but I guess what you're trying to get at, does that then make the person who's voting only picking one of the three
Yeah.
candidates?
Well, if
And
there's
doesn't
only-
nullify their vote.
But if
it doesn't
John-
nullify their vote.
But if
right.
John is technically taken off the ballot,
it still comes down to whoever gets the most votes.
but
Yep.
maybe I would have picked one person instead
Maybe.
of I mean
Maybe.
that, but it's not clear enough. An election
Hello,
should be
Monday
clear.
morning
Some people,
quarterback.
yeah, some people do that. I think they call it bullet voting, where they only vote for
Yeah.
one candidate.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
that's essentially taking a vote away from another candidate. But
I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think the
you can't control that.
Yeah, I don't think well, the election, every election's supposed to be crystal clear for the voter. And that, well, nothing about this has been crystal
Well,
clear.
I think whether you're for or against the recall election, I don't know that it's going to change your vote at this point. I think, you're
Right.
either for it or you're against it, and you'll vote accordingly.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess we'll find out on November 4th.
I don't know
less
that
than
we
2
will.
weeks away.
It's a week from Tuesday.
It seems
No.
decisions are coming fairly quickly.
Yeah.
When challenges are happening.
Who knows? I mean, obviously, this is fresh territory for a lot of people. It's never gone
Well,
quite like this.
and I think the big unfortunate part of it, or an additional unfortunate part of it, is now, we're seeing signs for both sides. We're getting mailers in the mail, and it to me, it just brings back memories of 2018. That election where there's 20 some big mailer pieces that came out against Bruce and I, and this is reversed obviously, but it's things that I never thought I would see happen on a small little island, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
But I commend both Karen and John for doing whatever they have to do to stick up for themselves. I would do the same thing.
Yeah, the whole thing with the sign, I think the signs thing is just a complete waste of money. Like, because you got one sign in the grass somewhere, then 10 feet down, you get a different sign. If you're not on social media and creating videos on social media, that's where everybody is. And you could do that for free. I mean, I know Eddie Rude he doesn't even know how to turn on a computer. So there's no chance that he's ever going to be able to put together a video. But the sign thing just seemed I mean, I get the mailers. Maybe the mailers work, but the sign thing is just, it's just a complete waste of money.
Well, as people are starting to come back down, you notice the car haulers are coming,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're seeing the RVs, and you're seeing the stuff come down. You're getting a lot of questions about what's this yes and no about what
Right.
But they're not
people that-
voters,
They
right?
may or may not be. Some are, some aren't. But
I mean,
they're
if
trying to
any-
understand what this is all about.
I think
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's going to be so confusing
Yes.
and it's so muddled
yes.
that I'm not sure what you get is really going to be the intent of what people went into the voting booth to do, because I guess we'll see.
Dan, when you
Guess we'll
saw
see.
come on, give me an answer on this one, please. I'm begging you. When you saw that London Bay donated $4,000 or $5,000 in different organizations to one candidate, I mean, what did you think about that?
I mean, it's part of the process. Quite honestly, it's You can choose to deny accepting funds if you want, but it takes money to run out. I think the misconception is that people think just because somebody donates to you that they're going to get some sort of preferential treatment. That is 100% not true. If you're running and you need money to do social media, or you need money to do that, you can pick and choose who you want to accept funding from. Sometimes they just donate and you don't even know.
Eddie Rude
But-
doesn't need money. Eddie Rude wanted to show people that developers are behind him.
And the thing with any funds that aren't spent, the good part of it, in my opinion, in the political world, is any funds that aren't spent has to go back to a nonprofit. So it goes back into the community. So if they don't spend all their money, usually the last election, I don't remember the exact dollar amount, but I split it up amongst the three of the nonprofits. So they got to see some money that went in to be able to help the community.
And,
so there is good that does come out of it.
and hopefully,
Do you
when-
think those negative mailers work?
Well, they didn't in my case,
Right.
and they were total lies. I mean, it turned out to be
Well,
they
these
were
and these
completely
mailers,
opposite.
these mailers are. I mean, these are mailers are to they're for they're. I don't mind them because they are, people are fighting for their honor. They're fighting for their word. They're fighting for their who they are. Mine were opposite. Mine were saying I'm going to be Bruce and I had hard hats on and we had these big plumber's wrenches and we're just going to let everybody build whatever they want and it just goes to show you not everything that you get in the mail is the negative stuff is usually the negative
really,
stuff.
what
And it
people
is hard to, people always say follow the money. I don't know. When you go and look at the campaign finance stuff and you try to follow it, it is really,
Yeah, the
it's like a shell game
Well,
because
you
they
can-
just
and
move
they,
it.
and,
between-
they'll, and sometimes they'll push it too far. I had the one that finally ended it for me because I you can come after me all you want. You could say whatever you want about me, but if you bring my family into it, that's where I'll draw the line and I will call you out. There's no political position that someone's family should get drawn into.
Right.
If you don't like a candidate, don't like the candidate, but don't bring their family into it.
right?
And we received one at our house that had my social security number on it.
No way,
Not my full social security number, but it
Oh.
had my social security number. So how they got that, I don't know.
crazy.
And then it said that I didn't pay my child support, which is 100% not true. So I called the person and I had a fairly good inclination and was behind it or part of it.
Who was it?
It doesn't matter. And I told them that this is going to stop or it's going to get very ugly. And it did. They didn't understand that, that they crossed the line and,
Yeah, that's crazy.
The mailer stopped right after that. So it's, again, if you want to go after a candidate, that's your right to do that,
Yeah.
but leave family out of it because our family suffers enough when you're doing this, that they've got to deal with things that
Yeah.
they shouldn't have to deal with.
So you mentioned that you can donate the money to charities, and
You
a
have
lot
to
of the
or give it back.
or give it back. A lot of the people in the last campaign hit around a storm. I think it was Milton that you guys were all running, and you all decided you were kind of going to back off on the campaign. So there was
We
money
did.
left in the till, and everybody donated it
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
different
we
charities.
decided not to do the signs. All
Yeah,
of it.
right.
Yeah, and so the reason I bring that up is because Eddie Rude is an opportunist. He tried to donate $50 through our fund to the VFW, which I refunded to him because he just wants to be part of the cool kids club when it suits him. He did the same thing with the women's club. He bought 3 Christmas trees when the women's club was doing a tree festival, just because he felt like he needed to rehab his reputation from the walkover. So I called the VFW because if you want to donate to the VFW, you could have gone on their GoFundMe. You could have gone and dropped the check off. He didn't do anything when we refunded him the $50. $50 is like a like a piece of snot stuck in his teeth there. He could have donated $50 and he decided to do nothing. So maybe he'll donate when he loses the campaign to Susan Lucci. When he has all that money left over from London Bay, he'll donate the entire pile to the VFW. That would be the nice thing to do.
Okay.
Well,
Can
I
we
mean,
move on with your
well,
little
some- well,
playground
sometimes I-
fight?
for
'Cause
s- no, but
everybody's
sometimes-
so sick of hearing it.
But sometimes I think when he
See?
wants to debate me, there's no reason for him to
Okay.
debate me.
You know what we've
So-
said about that?
Yeah.
Ignoring you, ignoring that.
All right.
So, Dan,
what's
what's
going
the
on with
good
the-
news of the town?
What's going on with the school?
Well, I don't know
well,
if that
we-
fits
we-
into the category of good
so
news, but
we agreed upon a location. They came back and they didn't want to have it at the town, and then they agreed that they would, we could do it via Zoom, but people could still come to the town. And I felt it was important that we have it that we sit face to face, because if you're not sitting face to face, you can't see the reaction of people when you have public comment. I like, I'm a person that likes to do things face to face versus over Zoom. So we're going to be doing it in Bonita. I can't remember the
Wait,
name
you
of the
guys
church.
changed your location and didn't tell anybody.
It just came out. So
It came out
So
where?
where's it going to be?
it'll be, I don't remember the name of the church. If Will is watching, I'm sure we'll share, but it's a mutual location.
Not on the beach.
It's not on the beach. It's
Okay.
just off the beach.
Yeah, I don't
in
think they
Bonita.
were going to come if they held it at.
Well, they wanted to do it via Zoom. There was, if you weren't paying attention, in Cape Coral, there was an issue with Denise where she got confronted by a very angry person, and LCSO had to escort her out of there. So she, it's an unfortunate situation. Whether you agree with what she does or how she votes, or
Was
what
that
she-
recently?
Yeah, it was last week. I want to believe she was out in Cape Coral, and it was it was, I wasn't there, but I heard it was a very tense situation.
How
And
did
they had
we
to
miss
take her out
that?
the back.
I wonder
And-
what event
and
she was.
It was
at.
over it was all of my understanding. It was all around the coach, football coach.
Oh,
that
okay.
got let
He's
go.
the Cape Coral coach.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I guess one of the players or a couple of players got very, very aggressive, and they had to take her out. So, she's concerned with, obviously we have a lot of people that are upset over the
Fair enough.
school, and she was concerned with her safety. And you know what? We don't obviously condone violence. We don't condone people getting in people's faces, and I don't think that would have happened here. But
Yes,
if
you're right.
it's if it makes her feel comfortable,
Yeah,
and
be there.
safer in a place where it's a neutral ground, I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
No.
For me, it was more important to have us all in the same room, to be able to talk it out, be able for them to hear from the people who have have
Mhm.
opinions on it, and
No, as long as
hopefully we can
everybody-
come out of that meeting with a resolution.
Well, as
So
long
when
as-
is that again? Because now you guys.
It's November 5th at 1:00.
Wow. So the election is the 4th, and
Yeah.
then this is on the 5th. That is going to be.
And
I
I can't remember that.
I'm
I'm sorry. I wish I could have remembered the name of the church. It's
Somebody will know
Is
what it
that-
is. I didn't know you changed it.
it was talks last week. It was going on, and I want to say it was Friday or Saturday.
So the
we-
one thing, even though there's a lot of disagreement over the town council here and the Seagate thing, no, I don't think there's ever been a worry that something would get like violent. It's a serious disagreement, but it's never been a case where I thought, even when Andy was here with that whole thing, I didn't really think that it would ever on Cape Coral. The police officers are everywhere when the city council is out, and for good reason. We had a show. We had to hire police officers, and they escorted one guy out because the guy was Baker acted once. I mean, something. He came to the show, so
people could
Well,
get
he
smashed.
didn't get for that.
no,
He
not for
made
that, but
made
previously, and the cops knew who he was. And
verbal threats, and then
I mean,
that's
that's
it.
when you know politics has really gotten too far. You go too far if you can't
Yeah.
disagree in a way where you have to worry about people's safety. Even Denise Carlin, who we all disagree with for what she's doing to that school.
But
You
she's-
can't be
No.
that crazy about stuff.
No, you can, and even though we're going back and forth every time I run into the school board members at an event, it's very cordial. It's not like we hate each other. We're just having a disagreement on something that hopefully we can all get to a
Yeah.
landing spot that works for everyone. And I think we will. I certainly hope we will. But
What
we
do
don't know
you
if
What do
it's-
you hope comes out of the November 5th meeting?
Well, obviously, the ultimate goal is to save the historic building and to get the kids back in school as soon as possible. That's the ultimate goal. So that's what I want to see happen. I think that's what everybody wants to see happen. That's what we were striving for after Hurricane Ian. That's what we're striving for now. It's an 80-year piece of history. And if you had a chance to go, you'll see some pictures. If you had a chance to go to the Fright Night, there was probably well over 100 kids. It was great to see all the people and the families that came down. Full families were dressed in costume. They were out on the field.
So let me ask you this about the event last night. I tried to ask my second wife over there, your first wife, my co-host yesterday. Maybe I didn't ask on the show. Oh, I could have asked on the show because it happened. No, I don't remember what I'm talking about. Where did the kids come from? Because there's not 100 kids on.
They
the
come
island,
from
but-
all over. There's people that, they bring their kids down that don't necessarily go to the school. It's just a fun event. They have big inflatable things that are out there. Same thing that they do with the
No, I
Easter
get
egg
it.
hunt.
Yeah.
And, once that new field is done, think with the path around it, we can really expand it and make it fun. And it just goes to show you people will bring their kids down to the beach, but we have to have a place for them to be able to go. And we showed that we can do it after Hurricane Ian by driving our enrollment up by 40%. It was working. Now, God forbid, unfortunately, Mother Nature had a plan to bring in another storm that put a little bit of water in it, but it didn't destroy the school. So that school, that building has survived 2 of the worst hurricanes that have ever hit this island. The top 2 hurricanes, it was even worse. Milton was worse than Charlie as far as flood, and it survived all of them. So if Mother Nature can't take it down, I don't think humans should be the ones taking it down. And we will fight. We will fight to make sure that that doesn't happen. And we will fight to make sure our kids get back in school, because I think if the school district and Denise understand that we are all, this is, as I've said many times, this is one of the 2 things that no matter what side of the aisle you're on, no matter what development, not development, everyone supports that school. We do pay into, we pay our fair share in, just like every other community does for a school.
Oh, boy.
And I hear people making the argument, well, there's only this many kids. Now, if we were trying to go for a new school, if we were trying to say we need a new school on the island, now that argument makes sense. But this is a school that's been there for 80 years.
Right.
We've shown we can get more people with the development that is happening. We're putting policies and procedures in place to make sure that these places have to commit to being part of the solution.
Yeah.
And they have all happily done it. So
Yeah.
I think, well, I'm always the optimist.
Yeah,
I'm
I
always,
don't disagree with the way that they've come after Fort Myers Beach in terms of getting rid of the school. It's clear they want to get rid of the school. But I wish you guys wouldn't use the $29 million argument. We all pay an exorbitant amount of school taxes.
The only
there's
reason
nothing we can do about it.
The
It has
argument,
nothing to do with if we pay this amount, you deserve a school here. It has nothing to do with that. We all
I
pay.
disagree with you.
How
of
can you
course,
disagree
of
with
course
that?
we all
You have
pay,
no
and
way of
we all-
adjusting the
we-
school
exactly.
taxes.
My point is, again, I go back to, if we were asking for a new school, that would be different. This is a school that was there. We're not asking to build. And the argument about what we pay in is to show that we more than cover our fair share.
But Dan, it
to
wouldn't
operate that
matter if there
school.
was never a school there. You would still
So
pay
you
the
think
same amount.
the $2.9 million is
29.
no what
Oh.
it costs to operate the school?
No, I'm not arguing with you on that, but we all pay school taxes. It's not
Okay,
relevant.
Great. So
But it's not relevant.
so what are you
because
going to do? So what are you going to do with that 2.9 million? Where's
No,
that
I'm
going
not
to go?
arguing with you about that. But I'm only saying that you're saying
That's what we're really talking about.
No, you're saying because the Fort Myers Beach residents pay $29 million in taxes, you deserve a school. That's not the way. It's not true.
Well, according to everybody else, it is, and according to the interlocal agreement, it is. So
No, the interlocal agreement stands on its own. It has nothing to do with
Well,
it. I agree with that. You're
again, I'll
going
go-
back on
again,
it.
I'll go back to, we've had a school for 80 years.
Yes.
We're begging to have back.
I agree.
And we show that our residents currently contribute far more than we get back at the cost of that school. And that number is only going up. And you've got another community that pays it probably more than we do, and because of their size, that's fighting to not have a school built. So to me, it just doesn't make sense. If you're going to say you're about the children, what do you tell the children? What do you tell a community that has sent their children, their grandchildren that go there, their kids went there, their kids will go there if it's there? What do you tell them? How do you look them in the face and say, we are about the students. We want to have a top 5. We want to have a grade A education. It's in our vision. It's in our mission statement. And then take an 80 years to a year away. I mean, to me, it just doesn't make sense. But
Right. All your points. I agree with the interlocal agreement. I agree with they should knock down a historical school. I agree with the fact that they're screwing the people on the beach by agreeing to something and then going back on their agreement. But we all pay school taxes, and we
Sure.
don't deserve a school because of that. You pay school taxes because you think you're paying for part
so
of
then
the
what is
education
your
process.
let me ask you, what's your threshold, since you're paying for school that you don't have, or you don't have students in? What's the criteria of who should be allowed to have a school then? Is there
The schools should be built where there
agreed?
need
This
for
doesn't
a
need to be
school.
built. It's already there.
I'm not disagreeing with that. You're trying to tie the two together. School, you have school taxes because you need to pay
Sure.
the teachers, you need to pay the salaries, you
Sure.
need to buy a new parking spot for Denise Carlin. You need all of these different things, but you don't deserve a school because you pay $29 million. I just that's not the way it works. It was never
All right.
intended to be that way. But if you guys want to use that argument, that's fine. I just think you have better arguments with the other stuff that you're talking about because it's all right. You're all right
It's
on
all
that.
part of the argument. It's all
All right.
part of the
Fair enough.
discussion.
So I did want to ask you about the dirt pile on
Sure.
the old town hall property. Like 30 days ago, I think ish, Karen,
Is it still there?
wait.
Sure.
Karen said that pile will be gone in 30 days. And maybe it wasn't 30, maybe it was 25, whatever. It's close to 30 days. When I ran by that at 6-minute mile speed on the sidewalk yesterday, that pile is taller than any other time in history. It's like 80 feet tall now.
Oh,
Okay.
brother.
When are you going to get rid of it?
Why is it bothering you?
Because I feel like you guys are asking everybody to clean up their yards and you don't do it.
Okay, that's your opinion. You know how many people I've heard from that have an issue with it besides you? Zero.
What's the point, Dan?
And
What's
you
the-
don't
what is
live
the
here,
point?
so what is your issue
But
with
Dan,
it?
why can't
I'm
you
just
answer
going to
the-
say it
it's-
because you
it's
know
a-
everybody's getting ready to say it.
It's been used. It has saved the taxpayers money because it was used as fill for Bay Oaks Field. It's being used for everything. It's going to go away. But again,
When
you're
is
the
it
only
gonna
one
go
that has
away?
it.
Okay, well, Dan, I'm asking you an honest
I told
question.
you. I'll tell
And
you
you
the same
laugh at
thing.
it like you don't have any responsibility to clean up your own yard.
You can say all you want, Ed. You can have all the argument you want. It's being used. It's not costing the taxpayers $1.
I didn't say it was costing the taxpayers $1. When are you going to clear the lot?
When the dirt's gone.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's a bullshit answer, Dan.
Okay, because
Why
you
can't
don't like it, Ed. Because you don't.
because
like
you
it?
don't have an answer.
You're right. I don't know what day it's going
Well,
to be
then why-
gone. I
then
can't
when
say it's going to be
somebody-
Tuesday,
Okay.
November 18th or whatever at 5:00.
Okay, so you're going to come down my street in Jefferson and say to me with a code
If
violation,
you think there's if you're trying to correlate a pile of dirt,
that's not a pile. That's
if you're
five
trying to
70-foot
correlate that to a
piles.
dilapidated home that hasn't been
Yeah.
touched in 3 years, you're delusional.
Okay, you can call me whatever you want, but people have to drive up and down Estero Boulevard and look at your giant dirt pile
Sure.
that you won't get rid of.
Sure. Well, we're getting rid of it, but
Is it-
it's still
You're not
being
getting
used.
rid of it. It's getting taller.
It's not
We're
a
not getting
safety
rid of it.
hazard.
fast enough for Ed
No,
Ryan.
I just think you're being hypocrites. The town's being a
Sure.
bunch of hypocrites, and
Fair
you
enough.
don't like being called on the carpet. You have no answer. You have no answer.
Yeah, I do. The answer is the dirt will be gone when the dirt's gone.
Yeah. Well, how about when somebody says to you, "I'll mow my lawn" when I mow my lawn?
Well,
Because you'll give them a code violation.
sure.
Okay, fair enough.
Jeez.
What other?
I don't know why you're getting so worked up about it. You're the only one that I've heard from that's worked up about it. I
Yeah,
did
is
receive
anyone else up-
one email
Have
about
you
it
gotten
asking if it had
Who
if
has
those
said to
piles
you
saved the town money.
that they don't like the dirt
How is
pile?
the pile saving the town money?
You obviously have no idea what a load of dirt costs.
Okay, that's how is it saving the town money? You're selling the dirt.
To increase the height of the Bay Oaks field that we put in 4 feet, how many truckloads do you think that
The
takes?
Bay Oaks facility, which has lost $7 million since
The
2018.
Bay Oaks,
So how much
the
money?
Bay Oaks
the Bay
facility
Oaks
has
facility-
never earned money. You show me.
I
a
didn't
park
say it
in Lee
earned money. I
County
said it
that
lost
has broke
$7 million
even.
since 2018.
Well, it's no different than
Now, how are
any
you
other
saving the town money?
because we didn't have to pay
They don't
for
have
the
to
dirt.
buy the dirt.
All right. Oh, I didn't ask you. if you were-
Remember, math
He's
is
not
your
good with
strong suit.
math,
Well,
yes.
obviously, you paid $3,500 for a wrap.
I know.
feel free to give whatever update you want, Dan. Whatever update you got.
That's the update. It is. It's
No, not on that. Not on that.
No,
on the other
and the other
updates.
stuff.
Oh.
What other updates? What else is going on? Can we get any good news out?
Yeah, we got confirmation from FWC. We've been getting some, or at least I've been getting some emails from some people down on the south end in the Bay Beach area that are concerned with the crosswalk lighting and how that's coming along. We did, before they can energize any lights, FWC has to sign off on it to make sure it's shielded properly, to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. And they want to sign off on every single section on the island. So right now the south end has 1 or 2 sections that are energized to be able to illuminate. And it sounds like the first week of November, FWC will be down here to do some testing on it. Once they sign off on it, they can flip the switch to turn the lights on. So we're starting to see some progress. You'll notice some of the lights are up at the crosswalks. The crosswalks are being installed by Lee County. That's separate from the project that we're working on, but they all tie together. And then but that's separate from, someone had questions about, the illuminated beacons that you push and lights up. That's under a different project because that went through FEMA funding. I believe last week they just put that out for bid and they approved the bid to be able to do the crosswalk beacons, the sidewalks, the center lane. I think Ed, you reported on it as well.
If you're
And the road is getting,
That's part of the
oh
whole
my
thing.
gosh,
yeah.
the whole road thing.
I
is
was
just
going to
a-
reach out to Commissioner
How
Maleka today
old
to
is
hopefully
that
they're going to
road?
start on the south end. and
Doesn't
work
seem
north.
like
It's
that
gonna
road
take a
is that
year.
old.
What needs to be done on the south end? It looks like most of the damage
Well,
is around here.
it's not just the center paver thing. It's sidewalks
Yeah.
that are missing. It's broken pieces.
Start down there, please.
Well, just for during season,
Yeah.
to be able, there's so much
Yeah.
more room down there to be able to
Yeah,
navigate.
and I
get
don't
And
think-
then will
around.
they be able to work at night
No.
after turtle season?
No, I think it was in their contract that they can't work after dark.
Yeah,
Why?
because
Are they afraid of the dark?
no, it
Well,
has
I
to
think
do
it's
with the neighborhood.
noise,
It has to do with
neighborhoods
Oh.
are noise, and
It's a residential neighborhood, and then there will be another turtle.
I mean,
season.
I get that, but then you're going to be upset during the day with the traffic.
well,
Yeah, I don't think the people
Yeah.
that come during season or the residents would care if they did half the work and then, during the off season. I mean, what's
well, if
the
it's
big
gonna,
deal?
if it's gonna take a year, to me, it would make sense to start on the south end. That'll
Yeah.
get by the time you start getting up to where the traffic backs up, season will be over. Then you can,
Yeah.
it'll be inconvenient for the residents, obviously, and the businesses and those that come to visit. But it's not like it's nothing we're not used to. We've been under construction for 3 years.
So if you're running on Estero Boulevard on the sidewalks, be careful because there are those concrete pilings waiting for the lights, like right on the edge of the
Yeah.
sidewalk. If it's dark, well, it is dark because the lights aren't in.
Yeah.
You really have to be careful in the dark because you can really walk into one of those.
Yeah, they're moving along pretty good. I think at the last meeting, it was just over 330 poles have been installed of the 400 and some poles are putting
Wow.
in. So they're getting closer to finishing that up. And
How was the event last night? The Community Foundation had a pub crawl to raise money, and you were a judge.
Yeah.
How did that go?
it was very good. It was, I think there was 6 or 7 bars and restaurants that were open. Got to take a little sneak peek tour of the whale. It is, to your point, though, that the
Don't give it away.
no, the stairwells are amazing. They did a really good job, really nice job of thinking through and the views. Obviously, the floor to ceiling windows
Oh,
are
God,
great.
Yeah.
But no, it went well. There was quite a few people for a first year event, and they had here at 8:00. They had the drawing, and then they had the choice of the best costume.
You know
Who
Who
what?
won?
Yeah, I can't remember what her name, but anybody that knows the band Limp Bizkit,
Yeah,
the bass player or the guitar player for Limp Bizkit has that
Axl Rose.
has the painted on mask with
Please
the
don't start.
and the whole outfit. She was dressed exactly like that, and someone told me that she's the one that designed that outfit for them. So it was
Oh.
from what I heard, it was 3 or 4 months just to do it was all hand painted. It was pretty impressive.
How would anybody know the band Limp Bizkit, the
know.
bass player for? I mean, you really have.
Now you're going
It
to
is
Google
pretty.
it. I think
is
it was a
very
bass
player, but-
specific.
Limp Bizkit wasn't the cleanest band to ever sing songs,
No.
but they were very popular back in the.
No,
it was
and
like the
I know that
90s.
they're still out touring. They were touring with Metallica when they were up in Tampa, so
Yeah.
they're still out there touring.
Did you see June Lockhart died?
Yes, I saw that this
Does
morning.
everybody know who June Lockhart is? If you know who June
100
Lockhart is,
years
you're
old.
as old as I am. Like, she was the mom on Lost in Space. Like,
My
that was
favorite
my favorite show
show.
growing up.
Favorite
Lost
show.
in Space. Yeah,
Lassie? Yeah,
Lassie.
she was in Lassie too.
Mhm.
Attention, what is it?
You're
Danger
gonna-
Will Robinson. Danger Will.
you're gonna
Robinson.
argue with
Well, Howard's
Howie?
as old as dirt too.
Timmy's
Oh,
mother.
That was
yes.
sad. So, what else? I know I had one more thing, but I've totally forgotten what it is. So, what
Does
else?
your
do you
blood
got?
pressure come back down?
Yeah, I'm
Such
fine.
a
You
fan.
see, the good thing about that is we can have these arguments, and
Yeah.
he can tell me to flip off, and we'll have a beer after the show, and nobody will give a crap.
I don't know about
That's
that.
the kind of thing that
Yeah, no,
that's the
it-
kind of thing
Well,
that
it's a good example of you can disagree and you can
Yeah.
have heated comments, but at the end of the day,
right.
it's just
Nobody
you-
put up their
you can-
dukes.
You can,
It
put-
was
you can be
fine.
on different sides of the aisle and still
Yeah.
agree to disagree,
So,
but have
we have
healthy
this
conversation.
we have this big election going on in Cape Coral where they're going to reelect a new mayor next year, and they elect a mayor, and so we had 2 mayoral candidates on Friday night, and the one like there's this what do you get paid, like 23,000? Like
No,
it's
I don't know.
gas
Nin-
money,
19.
19,000.
16 and 19.
I think the mayor in Cape Coral gets paid like 35,000. Well, she came on, the mayoral candidate, and she said because it's part of the charter review can raise
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
salaries, and you guys are going through the same thing
Yeah.
with the charter review. Well, the charter review commission has come with a recommendation that they push the council members' fee to like 70 or 75,000, and she said, I think a council member should be paid $160,000, and we were like, whoa!
Oh,
And so
So we
that-
started looking for a house in the Cape.
yeah, no kidding. I'm running for mayor over there. 160,000. And of course, over there, they're so political. Like they
Yeah.
try and point her out to be a Democrat. And it's a Republican.
Well,
This is a
they
Republican
asked,
state.
and they
did she
both
have any
candidate-
context as why she picked that as a number?
She thinks, well, she's a lawyer, so she probably makes $1.5 million. But I mean,
No,
I don't
she
know. I mean,
doesn't.
I mean, the lawyers are making all the money in the recall. But
She
so-
felt like it's a full-time job
Yeah.
and that to get people, a variety of people, rather than people who are retired and can afford to do a full-time job for less,
Mhm.
that would be an incentive to open it up for the average person
Sure.
to.
that's a lot of
to
money,
go.
though.
That's a lot of money. I read the story and I thought, wow,
It's a
She's
lot
gonna-
of money.
She's
That's
going to
a-
have to backtrack.
that's
on
a
that.
surefire way to not get elected.
For sure. 100%. 100%.
I
I
mean,
mean-
we looked around, even in like
Is it a lot of work?
Tampa and
Yes.
Orlando was like 70, 80,000. Those are big.
Yeah, big cities.
Yeah.
Those are big cities. I mean, the Cape is big. What, 220K? It's a lot of people, but that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, and it'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out over there. But
Yeah. Yeah, the mayor over there, and I won't bore you anymore with Cape stuff, but the mayor over there he's announced he's going to run, but they had tried to sneak through a pay raise by calling it a stipend in the consent agenda, and 3 people got voted off in the last election, and he voted yes for it. So it'll be interesting. But I think he's a good mayor, and he's smart.
Well,
he
I
knows
think
his
putting
issues.
it to the people to decide is
Yeah.
the best thing to
Right.
do.
And
yeah,
so
I think John does his homework. I mean,
Yeah.
every time I've talked to him, obviously we've seen each other at many, many events, and he's always.
and that
we were
reminded
just at
me.
the.
That reminded me of the question. You were on a panel with
Yeah.
Oh,
4 other
man.
mayors last week.
Yeah.
And I asked a question from the audience. How do you feel about property taxes going away? And what is your plan to replace that? Which is kind of an unfair question, but yeah. And they made you go first.
Well, I didn't mind going first. I mean, it's obviously I think everybody would support some sort of tax reform for homesteaded properties, or I think the governor's trying to push for more than that, but for sure homesteaded properties. But the big question is, how do you offset that for local governments? And I think the governor's point of view is, well, they should just spend less, and that sounds good on paper. Or I've heard other conversations about increasing the sales tax. To me, that would be devastating to to Florida in general, especially a tourist town like ours. So I had a conversation since that meeting with Senator Martin and with Representative Botana on an idea that maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. If you're going to go forward with this, do we really need to issue or increase a sales tax when you already have a use tax there that's not being spent every year? And that's the TDC funds. And I know it's not going to go over well, but it's something that should get looked at. If you really want to have the offset be paid by tourists, you already have a fund there. If you can just open up how some of that funding can be spent.
Right. What
You could
I
certainly
think you
offset
might
it.
be saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, is if you put in X amount, you should get that full amount back.
No,
Which would be
no.
fair.
Well, I think no, because I think there are things like, obviously before the storm, town of Fort Myers Beach put in and Sanibel were always the 2 highest people that contributed
Right.
to, but that doesn't mean that people didn't come because of the twins.
True.
Or so I think I'm not saying abolish the TDC. What I'm trying to say is,
No.
if we put in say $8 million and we only get back $1.5 million, is there a path to be able to increase that percentage or what that usage could be to be able to give that lost revenue back to the community, but still have enough to go into the coffers for all of Lee
Yeah.
County, right? And I don't know if it'll work, but I think it's something worth discussing or bringing up for
But that would be
conversation.
specific to this
No, I
area,
think
not
you
the
could do
whole
it.
state.
I think you could do it across the entire state.
What
but-
TDC funds are in
Well, you
the
got
middle?
you got Tampa,
No,
Orlando.
no,
all
I
the
know,
big-
but little communities in the center of the state.
But it
they're-
all falls within the county, right? So at the end of the day, the county has the ability to issue the funds out. So it would be done countywide.
Yeah.
So
Do you
again,
think
this
so
is just
all
an idea.
counties
Yeah.
have
They were asking
TDC?
for ideas.
Oh.
That was an idea to
I
me
think
that I
all you
thought,
mayors need to get together and talk about ideas when it comes
Yeah.
to the TDC money, because I think there needs to be some modifications to the way the TDC
well,
hands out money.
you look at it, if say there's $60 million in reserves. Now they did just put a lot of money towards the rebuilding of the pier, which benefits all of Lee County, which was great. But if you're paying in, if you truly want to eliminate property taxes for homesteaded homes, why wouldn't you at least take a look at that and open it up? We've been arguing for years that Times Square, which is the most used beach access in all of Lee County, where the pier is at, is not considered a beach access under TDC funds. So we
Crazy.
can't get any funding. We've never been able to get funding for Times Square
But
beach
that
access.
makes no sense, Dan. It makes no sense.
But
And
it's
you said that before.
legislatively the way that the law is interpreted
Yeah.
by the attorneys. And there's ways that you can. So to me, if you can look at a way to use a tax that's already being paid by bed tax from the bed tax, 11.5%. You don't necessarily have to worry about raising, because if I'm coming down here with a family of 5 from Minnesota or from Illinois or Indiana, and now all of a sudden I've got to pay an extra 6% sales tax on top of an 11.5% bed tax,
Yeah.
that might price some people out
Yes.
for being able to come to Florida. And I think it could be very devastating, but I think there's a way you could do it without having to increase taxes and make it harder for those that want to come down here and visit.
Man, I hate taxes, but I don't even know where this came from. Like, I didn't see people like banging on the governor's door to try and say abolish property taxes. I just think it puts
Well, I 100%,
local
I
municipalities.
100% agree with this concept that, you never own your home,
Right.
but you're still, when you're looking at this, I think what's being proposed it doesn't include fire, and it doesn't include public safety, and it doesn't include school. Well,
Of course.
those are, I mean,
The biggest
40 some percent of our ad valorem that you
so they're
pay,
really screwing
their
local
tax money goes to that.
municipalities.
Yeah. So, I mean, the municipalities and the counties are the ones that are going to pay. And if you have a fund that already has a surplus of funding, why wouldn't you use that to offset? I want to, this week, I plan to get what those numbers are just specifically for the town of Fort Myers Beach, because I don't want to speak for other communities, but what is the ad valorem? What would that cost the town based on the homesteaded properties? I want to find out what that exact number is.
Yeah, and I know people are they don't really pay attention much to state politics, but you really should pay. There are 8 bills
Yes.
going through the legislature that will lead to some sort of modification.
Well, the government
in the
has been very,
property taxes.
it's coming,
Yeah,
whether you want to or
And
not.
I sent an email to a text to Jonathan Martin, and he sent me the links to 8 different bills. So if you don't
Yeah,
think
it's a lot.
something is going to happen,
It's a lot.
it is going to happen.
They're pushing forward with this.
Yeah.
So, and there, this is one of those scenarios where no idea is a dumb idea. If
Yeah.
you've got an idea, feel free to shoot it out to your legislators, bring it to us. We'll bring it up to them if you don't feel comfortable, whatever. But, if you don't get involved in the conversation, you can't complain about what the outcome is.
Mhm.
And the delegation meets, I think, every December locally. So you can go, it's a public meeting. You can go to that too. But I mean, it really is going to be,
It's going to be an interesting year in Tallahassee
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
And you can
Um,
follow along. There's a lot of different ways you can, obviously it's a long way to go to the meetings, but you could follow along. There's different
Yeah.
channels that you can go through to follow along. And we're fortunate, pretty much every member, almost, I should say all of the members of our delegation are very approachable.
Yeah.
They respond.
Yeah.
I mean, we're lucky we have a very good, strong
Yeah,
delegation for Southwest
the
Florida.
dichotomy, you like that word, with state legislature is we have great representatives, but they are trying to take more and more
Not
home
sure
rule
you're
away
using it.
from municipalities.
Sure.
Every single legislature, they
Yeah.
try and pick something apart so you guys can govern less
Right.
of the people. And I think
Well, that's
they-
where the Florida League of Cities comes in, right? They're
Yeah.
huge advocates for protecting home rule. It's a great organization. Holly Smith is the president of it right now. So we know we've got good representation up there through the Florida League of Cities. And they keep us abreast of what's going on and
Mhm.
letting us know who we have to contact, and how you should contact them. But you got to get involved, because if you don't, you can't be the Monday quarterback coach if you're not, or player if you're not involved in the game. So you got to make sure you write, share your thoughts, and it does make a difference.
How did the Vikings do this week? they lose
As good
again?
as the Giants?
Can I tell you what? When I was
He's
watching,
just
so
totally
bad.
given up now. I
When
said,
I was-
just pick another team to cheer on, because it's ruining your whole.
Yeah.
I don't remember who
whole
they played last
season.
week. When I watched the Giants last week, they were winning like, I don't know, 29-0 or 19-0.
And you had to get all excited,
Yeah.
and I said, no,
I know.
there's still time for it to go
This
sideways.
is how ridiculous I am. I get like angry when you can sense that your team is about to lose. You just know they're trying to do everything not to win, to lose. I don't know. I do remember whacking my glass of rum and coke across the lanai, scaring the shit out of the dogs. I mean, it just sucks being a fan of a team that it's almost good, but it's just not good.
Talk about
Well, it's
tripping at
just
the
like
finish line.
that's
Woof.
that's the life
the
of a
goal
Viking
line.
fan. And as I'm getting older, and the more and more I've every year that I've been out of Minnesota, I still obviously bleed purple and love the Vikings, but I don't let it affect me nearly as much as I did
Oh, I
when I
can't.
lived there. I mean, now it's it does, the outcome of that game doesn't change my life one way or another. Do I want to see them win? Do I want them to go to Super Bowl? Yes. Did I buy a purple golf cart because I'm a huge Viking fan? Yes. Although it was a sad
But
day.
are you going
I
to
did-
drive it into
I
the
just
Gulf
sold
if
it.
they don't win?
just-
No.
That's what I would do.
I just sold it this week to another gentleman, so it's a
Is
sad
he a
day,
Vikings
but
fan or is he painting
He is
over it?
not. He
I know
is
where he
not,
can get a good rap.
what's You know what's funny about
No, you
it
don't.
is he's a super nice guy. He's a military veteran, and he and his wife came in to look at it, and he looked at the pictures, and on the pictures to him it looked blue. So he and his wife pulled up, and I never really thought about it. I know it's purple, so to me it's purple, but he saw blue. So they came in to look at a blue cart. Well, his wife is a big purple's her favorite color.
Oh wow.
She got out of the car and they both walk in and like, do you have any used carts? I said, yeah, I have that one right out there. And he turns around and goes, I thought that was blue. And she goes, that's the one we're coming to look at. And she didn't say another word. She walked out the door, sat in the golf cart, and did not move.
That was it.
She drove it back to
Did
Minnesota.
not move. So so she sat there for about 10 minutes, and we're walking around, we're looking at it, and he's like, I just don't know if I like purple. And she just sat there, and of course I'm like, well, looks like she loves it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just don't know. I just don't know. And she looks at me, she goes, do you have a bathroom? I said, yes, ma'am. It's right there around the corner. So she gets out, goes to the bathroom. He's like, I really got to think about this purple. She comes back in, jumps right back in the cart and sits down. She's got it. She says, and he's like, honey, it looks like it's hard for you to get up there. She goes, I'll figure it out.
Nice.
So she sat in there, and he's like, well, let me, think about it. And they took it for a test drive, and they come back, and he's like, I'll get back to you. He wasn't 20 minutes away. I get a text. He's like, I'll be back in tomorrow. Take another look at it. So he came back the next day and looked at it. And he's like, he was such a sweet guy. He's like, he had an issue where he was laid up for 6 months. And he's like, she really deserves this. And so he came back by himself and ended up buying it for us. She doesn't know it's coming yet.
How much?
You
did
got to
sell it
get
for?
those bows. You got to get the bow.
Yeah. Well, no, he doesn't know who I am. So he doesn't, he's not,
Yeah. I just want to say thank you for your help last Sunday at the VFW. That was an incredible day, a great event. Thank you all for coming out to that and donating.
Yeah.
When they said,
Can I share that story that I shared at the council meeting? Because I thought that people that maybe if they weren't watching the council meeting need to hear. There was a gentleman I think he was in his early 90s, that was shot down in the Air Force. And he spent just over 5 years in captivity, like 5 years and 3 months or 5 years. And the whole time he's telling the story, he's got a smile on his face. And he talked about how they communicated. They figured out ways to communicate through the lids on some of these cans that we're bringing around. So over 5 years, they were communicating. So he was in captivity for 5 years, got released, ended up going to work for a commercial airline company. And 6 months after being hired, he was, the airline would close down. So he was out of a job. And the news reporter came up and said, well, how do you feel after being in captivity? And now, you lose your job. And he looked at him and said, I'm better than I was a year ago. And to me, it just resonated because it's, no matter how much you disagree, no matter how bad you have it, you're always better than you were a year ago, usually, right? And we're better today than we were yesterday. And even though we may disagree on things, it's important to remember that message, I think. And his wife came up and told the story, and she said that when they got home, their answering machine was full of job offers. Yeah, she said that you left to go to the bathroom, so she came up because he was having a hard time telling the story, and she came up and said when we got home from that interview, our answering machine was full of jobs. He went on to have a successful career as a corporate CEO and corporate company, and so it was a really cool story. But
it was, and he was such a happy-go-lucky.
He was smiling the whole time.
He was smiling, and then he wanted to tell the story about the
and
bear,
Earl,
and she was like,
"Is that his name? Earl, the 97-year-old? Is that his name?
I don't remember.
No.
But the thing that I'll
he
never
was
forget
so happy.
is when you interview veterans that were captured at war, and then you meet them, and then they say things like, I was in captivity for 5 years, and then they go on like to the next sentence, like it's part of their day. And in my mind, I'm saying the guy was in captivity, like they're getting tortured,
or they lost an arm. We had someone who lost a leg,
and I want to say
an arm.
The other story was obviously Earl, who was down here for when we did the thing in Times Square.
Yes,
and then he came up and had he was.
So that's Clarence.
Clarence, I'm sorry. Yes, I don't know why I said Earl. Clarence. And afterwards, he came up to me 2 or 3 times afterwards, and he's still having a beer. And I said, Clarence, can I buy you a beer? He goes, No. He goes, I get pitchers. So he's drinking beer by the pitcher. And he's what, 93?
92.
So he's like, no, I get the pitcher. I said, well, can I buy a pitcher? He goes, nah, I get it for free.
Yeah, they have a corner for him in the corner there.
And you know what? Yesterday, I was leaving the beach, and guess who I saw? I drive that way, and I saw him walking in at like 11:30.
Such a great
little
guy.
bit of Gene.
Yeah.
So
such a great
but
guy.
he's Sprite.
It was so cool to see everybody. And when they said to me at the door, I said, we're trying to add up the number at the time, which I knew we weren't going to get a final number. I said, how much did you guys raise at the door? They said 13. I said, so I had $1,300 to the total. And I'm like, no, 13,000, like $13,000 more at the door. So they're over 80,000. And so
Did you say it was 80 over 80 or 85? I thought you said it was 80.
Close to anyway,
you
they
guys
should be
you
fine.
guys did a great job, and all the people that came out. I know you took some flack over the whole,
The raffle.
you know, the whole raffle thing and whatever. You know what? If you don't do these all the time, you don't know, and
Right.
you're always going to have. It's one of those things that no matter what, that's a person that no matter what you do,
Right.
they're going to either you're doing it for the wrong intentions or they're never
Yeah.
going to be happy with whatever the outcome is. But you know that made a difference, and you should tell the story because I think it was pretty powerful what they gave you at the end. That's
Oh,
unheard
yeah.
of
Yeah.
for what they gave you as a thank you.
Tony, I'm going to get the name of the knife
Yeah.
wrong.
J-Bar.
Yeah, he gave me like his collector's item knife, which had an inscription
He
on
had
it.
it for 35
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, which was-
USMC, Marine
Yeah,
Corps knife.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to do with it other than put it on a shelf and you know, you make friends for life that way. That's what we've done. We've made friends for life. We can walk in there and just
Maybe it should be an annual thing. Do it once a year for them.
Yeah.
something. I mean, Tony's already been texting me about different events they have come up, which is the right thing to do. Now they need
Right.
to
And it's
keep
a
things
really cool
alive.
place. And you know,
Yes.
for people that don't know, because I didn't know, if you have a family member and there's a specific family members
Right.
that have served in a foreign war, you can be on the auxiliary there. So
Yep.
both Megan's grandfather and mine served in World War II. So we could actually be members, auxiliary members
Right.
of that. And I didn't know that until then.
And the auxiliary, they do a lot to
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
yeah. And,
They
and it's
do a
really
lot.
cool. It's a much
It's a
bigger
big-
space than
mhm.
I mean, I'd never
Mhm.
been in there, but it's
It's
a
nice.
it's a beautiful building, and
Yeah.
those poor bartenders, they were humping, man. They,
Good,
Oh,
good.
I don't
my
think they
goodness.
were used to seeing that many
Yeah.
people and
No,
slinging
it's
that
a
many
lot.
drinks, but
So
I bet their bar sales were
So
Pretty
last story about that, the Marines were there, the young Marines were
Yeah.
there, and
Oh, here we go.
you didn't
They-
win, did you?
Not
they
even
said
close.
they come equipped with a pull-up bar. Like everywhere the Marines go, they have a put together pull-up bar. So they have the pull-up bar put together in the back, and then of course they have to challenge me for some reason to a
Well,
pull-up
no,
contest.
you got
No,
lippy.
you got- you-
lippy
yeah.
about the push-ups.
No, you got how many push-ups you can do,
You
and
got
that,
lippy
and then
about the
very
push-ups.
large young
Yes.
who
Mhm.
at the very beginning, if you get a chance, go back and watch it. He was not shy about telling you his job was to kill people.
People.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
When
Well, of course
he
it
was
is.
his like my job is to kill people,
break things and, kill
and
people.
he is a big young kid. And
so
Ed
I
thinks
said
it's a
to-
good idea to start challenging him. About how many push-ups can you do? He goes, "Sir, we don't consider push-ups exercise."
Yeah.
So they break out the pull-up bar, and they must. have
But
got
they
the-
sent in the other guy to do the pull-up.
Well, they
must-
said he was the one that could do massive
Yes.
amount of
the
push-ups.
kid must have been 24 years old.
No, he was older than
He
that.
puts his hands as wide as you can on the pull-up
Oh,
bar.
see, he's
which-
already making excuses.
No, which are the hardest pull-ups you could do.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot easier to do them closer together. He puts them as wide as he can, and then he's just going up and down like there's effortless. Like,
nothing.
he did 30 of
Yeah.
them. He killed 30 of them, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Like,
How many can you do? Enough to beat you.
and
I
here-
have video of it. If you would like it posted
Oh,
on Facebook, let me know.
I didn't get to see it, but I saw Ed come back and he's
Oh, he
he's
was
like,
gassed.
He's like that damn kid
And
did
towards
30.
the end, they were so kind to him. I mean, I didn't do any, but I'm going to rat you out. They were so kind to him because we know how push-ups are supposed or pull-ups are supposed to be done, and you're not even getting close to your
bullshit.
chin.
I was
I'm
waiting.
going to post the
Now we
video.
gotta see the.
I gotta post
I
the
think
video.
it should be a poll.
And
it
they
should
were
be a
like,
poll.
"Yes,
is
you
Ed
got
doing
it.
the right
You
pull-up?
got it,
Dude,
buddy.
I'm
You
60
got
years
it."
old. I think
Another
I
thing
did-
I found
But you know
interesting-
what? The big guy that you were talking about, he
Yeah.
got up there.
he did
I mean,
5.
Oh, that was a big dude though.
Yeah,
he was
he's
probably
a big
250.
guy.
He, I wouldn't want to run into that dude in a dark alley. What I found interesting about, they were all recruiters out of the recruiting office, and I didn't know this. If you come in, there's a certain threshold you have to be able to do when it's pull-ups. I think he said it was 3 or 5 or
Oh
something.
yeah, it's a Sissy
And if you
Mary
can't
kind
do
of
it, they actually bring you in every week and train you
Yeah.
to get
Yep.
to the point where you could do it to meet the minimal threshold because they don't want you to fail when you go to boot camp.
Right.
So they actually come in and train you for free to get you
Yeah.
to the point where
If
you
you're,
can.
and I tried to say this in the nicest possible way, but if you're between the ages of 16 and 25 and you can't do 3 pull-ups, I mean,
Yeah.
that's bad.
Yeah, and
I mean-
I tried to, I was trying to relate as much as I could. I did enlist in the Navy, but I got kicked out for medical reasons. And
You have a plate in your head,
yeah, well, I think it's dissolved by now. or
kicked
who
by a
knows?
donkey.
Yeah, right. Probably twice. But So
That's all right. I married one.
So yeah, exactly. I thought he was a
All right, we
horrible-
need to
anyway.
wrap this up.
So anyway, I started asking questions, and I thought Will's story, but like, what is the funniest story you have? If you have a funny story from boot camp, and a friend of mine that went in, he was a year older than me, told me the story about right off the bus how he got out and the drill sergeant said, "Who here has got a driver's license?" And he thought, "Wow, this is me do, I do." So he ended up having to push mow the entire barracks because he had a driver's license to run the lawnmower. So I found that funny. So I always try to ask people, do you have any funny? So I put Will on the spot. When Will came up, I said, "Will, do you have any good stories, funny stories from boot camp?" And he thought for a little bit. He goes, "Oh, I have one." And he told the story, and I hope he doesn't mind that I'm sharing it, but
He shared it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was funny. He you know, you only get so much time to call back and talk. And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Will is a big Dodgers fan. So, you know, his team won last night, so he's telling the story. He gets on the phone, he's talking to his mom, and they only got so much time. And his dad was a Marine. So he gets on the phone and his dad goes, "I know you don't have a longer time. Dodgers won the World Series. Bye." Click. And hung up the phone. I thought that was a good story.
Yeah.
So
He's a good guy, and it was a great event. We appreciate everybody participating, and we look to work with them down the line. So, Dan, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank
Appreciate
you.
your time. Big hand for your mayor.
That's all right.
And by the way, it was number 3. Dawn, come on down real quick. There, I'm gonna chat with Dawn for a second. The election for mayor is the second meeting in November. So the council, whoever the council is, will vote for the mayor and the vice mayor. And so Dawn wanted to come on and tell us about the lineup for your upcoming openings. Wait. Okay, go ahead.
So I actually have a funny one for you.
Oh, funny Marine story. I didn't know you were a Marine.
No, but I was in the military.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I was in the army.
Did you
yeah.
kill people and break things?
No, I didn't kill anybody, but I did get stuffed in my locker.
No way.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so
I was
wrong.
such a GI Jane. But at any rate, so
How
I
did
wanted.
you get out?
I actually was medically discharged.
Because they stuffed you in the locker.
No. So
I didn't mean get out. I mean get out of the locker.
Oh yeah, I think somebody came and got
Yeah.
me. I don't remember the outcome.
Why
of
did
that.
you let them stuff you in a locker?
Well, well, they were all really a lot bigger than I was.
Oh,
so,
it was
yeah,
all. It was
yeah.
you were mixed in with the men and the women were
No,
together.
no, just women.
Oh, the
But,
women
I mean,
were bigger.
I'm not all that
I,
big. You know, I
right.
had to gain like 20 pounds to get to the military.
How many pull-ups can you do?
None. I don't think they have that requirement in the army. At least not
They
for the
better
job
now.
I was
According
doing.
to
yeah.
Hexeth, they have
Yeah.
them now. But
Yeah.
anyway, so
All right, so
sorry
to,
about
to
that.
go on, we did finally announce the lineup for our sneak peek bash, and I wanted to let everybody know here today. We're starting with at 3:00. We'll have Dreamsicle, which is a Jimmy Buffett tribute band, and they're very good.
Can you?
next-
What date is this? The
This
sneak
this
peek?
is November the 8th.
November the 8th. So
Yeah.
can people come to that, or is
It
that
is
invite
a
only?
ticketed event.
You can come, so you can buy a ticket.
Yeah.
On the 8th. How
Yeah.
do they buy the tickets?
Those are going to be released this week.
Okay.
So,
well, so
yeah.
you'll send us a link, and everybody.
Yeah.
What are they going to cost?
I'm not ready to tell that yet.
Okay, and that money will be going toward. I think I know, right? Paying the
yeah.
band.
Well, yeah, we got to pay for all of that, but you know, I mean, I hope we make a little bit of money that night.
Okay, it'll go toward
Personally, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
All right.
I didn't know if we were mixing the other group with that.
What's up?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was what we were doing.
No. So then we move on to Bon Journey, which obviously is a Bon Jovi Journey tribute band. And then the final one is Heath Sanders. And he's a big deal in the country music scene. So I'm a
Sweet.
country music fan. So that's why we were definitely doing country.
So that'll be on the 8th, starting at what time?
So it starts at 3 and continues until midnight.
3 to midnight, and it'll be on the 3rd floor. Where are you doing the music?
No, it's the entire building.
Oh,
Yeah. And it's alcohol and food included, as well
What?
as, yeah,
okay. So don't
Right.
expect this is going to be a $10 ticket, everybody.
it's not a $10 ticket.
All right, because
yeah.
you're getting music, you're getting food, you're getting alcohol. And
Yeah.
what day of the week?
I thought
is
I
it?
would have the number for you today, but
Okay.
Mike was trying to make some changes yesterday,
Gotcha.
so I don't want to say it.
What day of the week is the 8th?
It's Saturday.
Saturday is the
Yeah.
8th. Okay,
Mhm.
awesome. So, I mean, Dawn, the place looks freaking fabulous. And when you showed me the paintings in the staircases and then the floor on the 3rd floor, it's like, how do you come up with these ideas?
So typically I'll come up with like somewhat of an idea and then I'll pass it off to our artist and then she just rolls with it. She
Yeah.
just goes. And she's amazing. Her whole team is amazing.
The ceiling on the third floor is amazing. I mean, I don't want to give any away. I want people to just see it when they
Yeah.
see it the first time. It's awesome. It's just not putting up a regular building. There's a lot of thought into that and a lot of money.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in it. Yes, but that's okay. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you want to share about the What's Up FMB coming up, the parade?
Oh, yeah. The Illuminations Parade is going to be on November the 15th. In fact, tonight we're doing a promo walk for drone video for us for advertising. But November the 15th at dusk, we'll start right down here at Bayside Park, walk out to the beach, and then go south down to Diamond Head.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That is all.
Big hand for Dawn and
Thank
our
you.
friends at the Whale, everybody. All righty. We love the Whale. And Sandy Bottoms, Dawn and Mike. If you are looking for a place to go have breakfast, everybody, the Island Pancake House is waiting for you 7 days a week from 7:30 to 2 o'clock. Tom's going to come over too. Even though it's not your day, I'm going to make your day. Make my day. Brian and Stacy at the Island Pancake House are fabulous people, so please go over there and spend your hard-earned money because they love you and they love this community, and they are open in the Seagrape Plaza, which is behind the big pizza bus, which is not supposed to be there. It's behind the furniture store, which isn't open yet, and nobody knows when it's going to be open. But you know where the Seagrape Plaza is. It's right close to the library. It's right in front of the school. Oh, what used to be the school. But, you know, it's in that general area. Go to the Island Pancake House because you can get whiskey and pancakes, and that is a match you can't get anywhere else. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Coleman. Wait.
No.
There
There you go.
How's it going with your business? Tell
It's
everybody.
going pretty good. It's slowing down out there. It's a slow season. Hopefully, we'll be picking up pretty soon. But Eagle Eye Aluminum, we specialize in seamless gutters, soffit, and facial work, as well as rescreen. And during the slow time, because after the hurricane, we were straight out busy with all the soffit and gutter work. We also specialize in pressure washing and, like I said, rescreens.
Pressure washing is a big deal because
Absolutely.
I meant to ask the mayor about the Bayside Park needs a little pressure washing. Maybe me and you out there can go out there and spray
Take
the
care of that.
bricks. Now that they have music Friday and Sunday nights here at Bayside Park.
Absolutely.
We also forgot to talk about the bike parade. The bike parade is coming up. What day? When is the bike parade? December 20th is the bike parade. So you get to decorate your bike and ride it up and down the side streets. And then the Ben Allen Band will be playing live at Margaritaville. That is a fun time. And that is all the mayor's idea. See, when you come to Fort Myers Beach, you get ideas like the bike parade from the mayor because he's just filled with ideas. I didn't know if you know, he's filled with a lot of stuff.
I
but
watched the
ideas
show.
too.
Yeah.
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 So how can people get in contact with you?
Eagle Eye
my friend?
Aluminum, 239-340-1639. We also got a Facebook page.
You do? What is it called?
Eagle Eye Aluminum.
Wow. It's
Imagine
amazing
that.
how you keep the marketing together like
Simple.
that. If you ever need somebody to wrap your vehicle, I have a person that can do that.
I'm staying out of it.
Very.
Oh, and we also repair screen doors on pool cages too.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
You know, the dog gets a hold of it, the leash.
Yes. So give Tom a call. Pool cages.
Thank you.
Pressure washing, soffits, all that stuff. So thank you, Tom, for being a sponsor and being a big part of the community. Thank you all for tuning in. It was a lively and fun show today. And we will see you. Let's see. There's a lot. November is a very busy month on Fort Myers Beach and in Cape Coral. A lot of things going on. But remember to vote. There we go. Waking everybody up. Remember to vote on November 4th. No matter which way you're voting, remember to vote. Vote for or against, but you must say what you feel. You must get out there and voice your opinion. Because if you don't, you can't complain after that. It's all over with. You can complain, but nobody will listen. All right, everybody, have a great Sunday and go Eagles. Thank you. Thank you.